Hello, everybody. I am Puppeteen from the Geeky Puppet Show here on the Geeky Puppet Show today. For what? For what? For the Fantastic Four, the giant-size Fantastic Four, issue number 2. But before we get into this massive issue, let's meet our cast and crew. To my side, he's small and green, and now he's blue and stretchy and drunk. It's, Froggy.
Well, howdy there, partner.
Howdy. If you look over there, well, there's no Sue. I just realized, playing useless himself, Johnny, it's Eric Breen.
Hey, guys. How come we finally got billed again and we left out our new guy who's probably going to be self-conscious? You screwed it up again, and they call me useless.
And he's got promoted to and friends.
I can't win.
No, you can't.
No, we can't.
If you look below, you can see, of course, shining brightly always is that never-dying Christmas tree. It's June, Maranya. June.
Yeah, but it's a rainbow shining Christmas tree, so it's perfect.
I still got a Christmas tree up too.
But if you look before that, you can see Maranya playing every woman in the world and that ever-loving blue-eyed thing.
Good evening, everyone.
If you look right there, he is our fearless narrator and the father of this country. It's Graf Ickman.
Don't let me down, kids.
And lastly, our special guest for this evening, it is the Captain, oh Captain, my Captain, Captain Strangelife.
Hello, everybody.
And now we're ready to bring the book. Giant size Fantastic Four.
Sure could go for an alarm right about now.
Well.
Awooga. There you go.
Thanks.
Can you read that, Marani?
Marvel Comics Group, giant size, Fantastic Four.
Okay, my pardon, that was me.
I gotta ask, do any of the fossils own this?
I'm sure they do. Okay, Watcher. You sent me back in time to stop the Earth from going bang. But if them jokers, whether they from DC or here, get their way, I'm gonna cash in my potato chips, my Pringles, in the roaring 20s.
You asked if we have it. I don't think mine has a cover. All new. Time to Kill.
Coolidge, I do not choose to run. That's a Daily Bugle headline.
Stan Lee presents the Fantastic Four. Cataclysm.
It probably will be.
Chapter 1.
All right, Ben. Head back to Cape Canaveral. This new suborbital shuttlecraft developed by NASA checks out on all levels. Maybe they are good for something.
Yeah, you know, Stretch, what with the smog in New York City even.
New York City!
I ain't seen a sunset in 6 months.
That's because there's a Canadian wildfire going on.
Yeah. It's sort of nice to know it's still there.
The wildfire?
Yes.
There you go.
Wow. As a buddy of mine once said, Benji, why are you riding in the Fantastic Car when you can fly? That's pretty useless.
Well, yeah, that's Johnny.
That and 2 bits just might buy you a cup of coffee. If you're willing to haggle the price down.
Yeah. Say, what's with you, Torchy? Ain't you a little young to get cynical?
Who's being cynical? Have you taken a look at food prices lately?
Wow.
Unfortunately, yes.
Wow, this is like 2023.
Yeah.
You tell him, Reed. Tell him how much you and Medusa paid for that beer last night.
Uh-huh. Reed.
Rocky.
Are you sure it's not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
next.
it's Johnny. It's Johnny. It's not Reedy.
No, it's Reed.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I was just pointing to your shoulder. That's why I answered.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny. This isn't a time for kidding around. This test flight is very important to.
It's about over is what it is. In case you hadn't noticed, we're coming in for a landing. Florida, here we are. We're going to visit Englandine. Yeah, what was that? Some sort of flash. All over the blasted planet. Holy cow, I'm blinded like Alicia. Can't see the crummy controls. We're gonna crash, Stretcho. Everybody brace yourselves.
I am breaking up with you.
Yeah. You won't. You're gonna marry me eventually. We're coming down hard. Like Alicia likes it.
For several long, breathless moments, there is silence.
Thank God.
Not on this channel.
Then the hiss of a cycling airlock breaks the stillness, and
I believe that's Medusa. Reed, I can't believe it. I can't believe it's not butter. We're alive.
Apparently we are, Medusa. I guess the thing actually is good for doing something.
Damn right he is.
Yep. Thanks to Ben. If he had panicked for even an instant about being blind like Alicia, well, there's no sense dwelling on that, is there?
Reed, have you noticed anything like totally odd?
Even if Stretch hasn't, I have. Now that I got my eyes back, my ever-loving blue eyes. Where's the airfield?
Possibly we've landed some distance from our destination, Ben. Johnny, don't you become the torch and why don't you come the torch and take a look around and see if you can locate a gas station? I'm feeling a little parched. I need some beer.
I got your beer.
Sure thing, Reed. It's just what I need after being cramped in that cockpit all day because I forgot I could fly. Flame on!
They were in space.
but
Nothing but trees and marshland. No buildings, no towns, nothing.
Well, son,
You better brace yourself, brother-in-law. I saw Sue banging name. I mean, we're just not misplaced. We're lost.
In space?
just a second. And so after Johnny has told the others what he's learned,
Guess we hike it, huh, Stretch?
well, you crashed the car. Now,
I did not crash the car. I put it down perfect.
Fortunately, we're probably still in Florida, in some part of the Everglades, behind Engletine's house. And at the most, civilization can't be more than a few hours away. Hey, is that Gary Busey?
yep.
Reed, what in the name of Aegon? Aegon from F Troop? Whoops, we got company, Stretch.
Hey, Bonnie, get a load of the new guys.
Yeah. And I'm making rubble out of you. And from the way they're acting up, they got all the mans are a bunch of Yancey Streeters. They're just about as good looking, too.
Hey, Fred, it's a talking rock.
Yeah.
Bonnie! Back off, buddies. In case you need a little incentive. Here.
Friends roll Marvel.
Ben, Johnny, look at them. They're not even human. They're primitive, ape-like.
They're very human.
And for some reason, they want us killed. It's a pity we don't have the facilities to analyze these creatures. Or the time. At any rate, I doubt if they let us study them so. We'll simply have to put them out of their misery. Get them out of the way. Correct, Ben?
I see what you're getting at, Reed. Just stay like you are, all wrapped around them. And Mrs. Grimm's little boy Benji will do the rest.
For heaven's sakes, Ben! God, careful!
Keep your shirt on, high pockets. Just a few more turns round and round to get up some speed, and then...
Crack. Not with not enough space for Zach.
Bingo! We snap them out like kids off a blame trampoline.
They're dead now.
Moments later, after Reed has regained his breath.
Don't say it, Reed. We've already guessed. You're going to say I'm useless again. If the landscape around here wasn't clue enough, those cavemen were. Somehow, we've gone back in time, right?
Going it back.
Wrong, Jonathan Storm. You've not gone back in time. Rather, time itself has been transformed, changed, twisted. The entire world has fallen back into a primordial state. Because you four were off planet, you remain unaffected for now.
The Watcher.
Yes.
Are you responsible for all this?
Everyone here remembers Baldy from FF 49, 50, 51, etc. Roy, on sale soon in a Treasury edition.
Also, Baldy's
Also England team.
Yes.
Hey, guys. Hey, true believers. No.
Have you already forgotten my oath? Reed returns. A watcher may only observe, not act. Though it's true I've broken that oath in the past many, many times.
At Banningham. Yes.
And that I intend to break it again today. No, it was not I who changed the flow of time. But if you will be patient, I will show you how the deed occurred. What you will see before you on the monitor screen is a recreation of events which took place a few minutes ago.
Minutes, but...
I said minutes, Reed returns. Mere seconds before your shuttlecraft re-entered the Earth's atmosphere. This happened.
Good Lord, it's Planet of the Apes. That's the Baxter Building, our headquarters. Somebody took my beer.
Someone must have broken in, just like the Frightful Four.
In FF 148, Rascally Roy.
And 177, which we almost are going to read tonight.
Why so, Jonathan? You will notice now just what section of your headquarters the intruder entered.
That's the timer device we captured from Dr. Doom years ago.
Way back in FF number 5, though Doc Doom borrowed it once or twice. Since then, Roy.
Oh, I could read it like Dr. Doom. No. Again, quite true. Your unfortunate visitor seems to have accidentally activated the time device, throwing himself backward in time, where he apparently changed the course of history.
Change history, but the paradoxes involved. It's inconceivable.
You keep saying that word, but I don't think you know what it means. Nevertheless, it is also true.
And that's the reason for this jungle? Those cavemen, mambas, and beer?
Exactly. Beer was never created. And the point now is, what are you four willing to do? Since you and you alone remain unaffected by these changes.
Do we get a Klondike? Oh, wrong one. Do we have any choice?
The kid's right for once. We all know what we gotta do, so let's do it.
We have to go back in time, reverse the changes, get the Sports Illustrated Almanac, and if we can, become filthy rich.
Yeah. Do your stuff, Watcher, before we get cold feet, tootsies, and all that.
And with Ben Grimm's grating words still ringing in their ears, two members of the world's greatest fighting team suddenly find themselves whirling through time and space, finally coming to a stop here. Here being a small town in upstate New York.
New York!
New York!
In the fall of 1777, where Reed Richards and Johnny Storm will fight their most bizarre battle in a chapter of our story titled George Washington Almost Slept Here, Chapter 2.
Reed, have I seen too many movies? I guess not, since they haven't been invented yet. Or are we back in the Revolutionary War days?
It seems we are, son. Our time-traveling tutor must have landed here, and it's up to us to find him. But first, let's get some beer.
Unexpected that.
I think we're about to meet some natives of this time period, and we don't want them to see us, not just yet.
And after the vanguards of the American soldiers have ridden by,
my apologies, gentlemen. I thought you had beer.
And just two of the boys and their duds. Good thinking, Reed.
But we'd be fairly conspicuous in our costumes.
The question now is, wait a minute, I'll think of one. What happens next?
Well, I have a theory about that. I've read two big words so far since Strange Lives has been here. I think I'm about to flub up soon. Also, whatever our time traveler did, it must have been very, or relatively drastic. Otherwise, it couldn't have affected our present world so potentially.
We'll try that again.
hopefully.
I'm looking to see if Dr. Sylvia is here. What's up, buddy? Potentially. All right. In which case, we need only to visit a tavern in the locale.
Of course you'd say that.
And listen to what ever news there is about recent, disturbances.
I get the idea, Reed. Let's go get a flagon of ale.
Reed doesn't answer for the next moment.
Captured by the redcoats, I tell ye. 'Tis God's truth, and ye all know me for an honest man. Happened it how's Bridget did. The general was out with a handful of soldiers when the redcoats caught him. 'Tis a sad day for the country lads, a sad day indeed.
The general. Reed, what are you thinking?
Don't jump to conclusions, lad. That's a different property. We're Marvel. Still, we better look into it. We don't want no more of this over here.
Moments later, in the corral behind the tavern.
Say, Reed, they shoot horses, don't... Oh, I mean, they hang horse thieves, you know.
Yes.
Yes, and then they shoot the horse.
Yes.
I'm afraid we don't have time for necessities, Johnny.
You want to try that again?
No, I don't.
All right. Your choice.
Nice ties?
Never mind. Moving on.
Yeah. Close enough.
Of course, if you want to stay behind.
Not a chance. And miss all these niceties, brother-in-law. I wouldn't give up playing William Dawes for the world. That's the other guy, Reed. See, I went to school and it's everything. Come on, Reed. Let's ride. Like my sister would say, yee-haw!
All revering the Raiders.
And so, a short while later, on the other side of the shallow river in the darkness of a New England forest.
New England Forest.
Eh,
Yeah.
You know, it's not a black forest. It's not great.
that's why Zach's not here.
Well, no, that's why Ash isn't here. There's no gummies.
I'm living
All
in
right.
Black Forest.
I think we found something, son. It looks like a fort. A British fort.
And now?
And now, it's time for something completely different.
Oh, it is.
Now we infiltrate. As only Mr. Fantastic can.
Which means you don't infiltrate. You leave it to him.
It seems Johnny and I have been lucky. Those are definitely redcoats down there below. And if my memory of certain historical paintings served me well, the man with them is General George Washington of the American Revolutionary Army.
I trust you'll be comfortable during your short stay with us, Washington.
They would actually pronounce it comfortable.
Comfortable. You are correct. Thank
Heard
you,
both ways.
woman. Perhaps we'll have time for a chat or two before we hang you for the traitor you are.
I'm certain we have nothing to say to each other, Colonel.
As you want it, General. Though perhaps you'll be more amenable to discussion after a night or two in the stockade. Good evening, my dear boy, and pleasant dreams. Ha 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 ha! Evil Brits.
Oh god, that's scary.
Meanwhile,
There's Reed's signal. He wants me to flame on, cause some sort of distraction. Well, that is fine with me. Distractions are my stock in trade, my fort, if you will.
Boosh.
Wee-oh! Look out, gang. It's going to be a hot time in Tory Town tonight. I seen Tori. She's hot.
It's a demon! Nobody says.
German.
German.
Wow, I wonder if we can get to do that.
Was ist los? Mein Gott, in Gas!
No, let's not ask the guy named Hans to do it.
Oh, sorry.
Let's do the next one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Was ist los, mein Gott, im Eist?
There we go.
Go ahead, somebody.
Oh, you blessed Hessian. We have to hire you blokes. Not listen to you.
Silence! Both of you! Whatever that flaming devil is, blow him out of the sky!
Oh,
Wow.
Sorry, Charlie, but only good tasting tuna gets to be star-kissed.
that's right.
You have to do better than that. Cannonballs melt before they can hurt me, which is more than you can say for my fireballs. Know what I mean?
Yeah, Crystal knows.
But jet fuel can't
Not
melt
anymore.
steel
Are they
beams.
atomic fireballs?
She just dumped me, bitch.
Oh,
Johnny's,
get on, Mr. J.
Johnny's sacrifice will be in vain if I don't save George Washington. It's working perfectly. The Redcoats have completely forgotten their prisoner, which means it's time I move. And also, time for the main event.
Good Lord in heaven, some sort of demon.
That's what my wife calls me. I'm not a demon, General. I'm an Anne friend. My partner and I tried to get you out of here. And from the sounds of coming off my side, I think we're close to succeeding.
This is most unusual, sir. I'm not accustomed to being shifted about like baggage.
He has the people's eyebrow.
Wait till you get married, then you will be baggage.
But I suppose I haven't any real choice in the matter, have I? Like these lousy wooden teeth I'm stuck with. As an acquaintance of mine once said, necessity never made a good bargain.
Are you sure that's not niceties?
That
Yes, sir, I am well aware of the diction of the language.
Very good.
no one cares about your diction. Mine's big.
And by the way, the other night, wouldn't you have killed for some wooden teeth to replace the one that was killing you?
You better believe it.
That was Ben Franklin, wasn't it, General?
Why, yes. Do you know Benjamin?
I got a feel of him in my pocket. In a manner of speaking. Now, if you excuse me. Johnny!
You don't have to yell, dude. I hear you calling, leader man. Better stand back from that wall a minute. I'm going to try something totally not useless and burn through.
It's the whole cabin on fire.
I must be going mad. First, a gentleman whose body stretches like New England taffy, and now a youth of flame.
We call him the useless torch, General. And I think you'll admit he's really going to burn down the house.
Burning down that.
But he's a handy sort of lad to have around.
Too much information!
Several moments later, after a frantic cross-country flight, 3 battle-weary companions recrossed the river they passed earlier, and so returned to relative safety.
Johnny, that clearing just ahead will be fine. We can leave General Washington, and he can find his way back to town without too much difficulty.
But, sir, surely you'll be returning with me.
That might not be a good idea, General. And don't call him Shirley.
Yeah.
Considering that most people are pretty superstitious and might not understand a fellow like me, which is why I was flying around on fire, who can burn away manacles with just a wave of his hand. Am I right, Reed?
I'm afraid so, Johnny. You've actually been helpful. Dear God, I'm sober.
It's the lack of beer talking, leader man.
We'd be mobbed. Probably hung as witches.
Sadly enough, there's truth in what you say, but please, sir, tell me.
Where we come from and how we got our powers, I'm sorry, General. It's better you never know or get rickrolled.
How about you, Mr. Prez? Oops, I almost did something useless. I mean, General Washington. How'd the Redcoats capture you anyway? Are you as useless as me?
It's most mysterious, young man. If I were as superstitious as some of my countrymen regrettably are, I'd say it were magic. I was on my way to a camp south of here, crossing the Owl Bridge, when something abruptly appeared before me. A man, I think.
Magic, man.
Yes, a man, now that I think about it, accompanied by a blinding flash of light, which caused my horse and shy which caused my horse to shy and throw me. Both my attaché and myself were knocked unconscious and lay in that state until the British and their mercenary Hessians discovered us by the roadside and summarily made us prisoners. Later, my aide escaped.
That's good.
Lucky so-and-so, and I imagined him. It was he who informed you as to my whereabouts.
It probably was him, General. We didn't stay around very long after what we heard what happened.
I see. And you don't say any more than that by way of explanation.
Again, I'm sorry, Dr. General.
Ah, well, it hardly matters, I suppose. What is important is that you are both very courageous men, and you both have my deepest gratitude. More than that, I cannot give you.
Sir, it's more than we can ask.
Can somebody take the picture before my face freezes?
Is it true that you chopped down a cherry tree? I mean,
Yes.
oh crap. Maybe you've done it yet.
And an apple.
And a pear?
Yes.
A partridge.
Very busy day. A hushed pause. The rustle of evening wind through the towering trees, and suddenly, where three once stood, there stands only one.
3 more
And
ghosts.
the rest, of course, is history. In a place elsewhere in time, a Florida swamp, in what was 1974 to be precise, 3 vaguely human-like beings stand watching a monitor screen, their faces reflecting varying degrees of concern. The silence stretches until one of them breaks it. In his own inimitable fashion, the great Grimsby.
Hey, what's the big idea? How come Stretch and Hothead get to go back in time, while me and Medusa stand around cooling our heels like a pair of pinch hitters? You ask me, it ain't fair. As a matter of fact, it's downright discriminating.
Not a pride month.
Yes. Oh, Ben, you're hardly being rational. I'm sure the Watcher has a very good reason why he sent only Reed and Johnny back. Though I confess, I would like to hear it.
Because he hates humans.
How about it, Baldy? Like I said before, what's the big idea?
Well, you see, Inhumans suck. Well, the big idea, my friend, is simply this. You and the scarlet-haired Inhuman were retained in the present in case some difficulty presented itself.
Like if Reed and the kid got in trouble, we was supposed to pull it out, right? Well, they ain't in trouble. So now what?
Now, we proceed to step 2.
Which is?
You and Medusa must intercept the time-traveling intruder as he bounces back through time, like a stone skipping across a pond. He will make several stops before returning to the present. You must catch him at his first such stop, which I believe is Chicago, in the year 1928. 1 year before the beginning of the Great Depression. A depression which will not occur unless you catch our time traveler before he stops it.
Thus, moments later, in subjective time.
Ben, we made it.
Can you beat that? The Watcher waves a gizmo duck, and the next time you know, we're out in traffic.
Huh?
Oh, it's me?
Sure, go ahead.
I thought I was the other guy.
You're other people too. Just go ahead and take it.
Go ahead and take it.
Who's that guy? He's not that blue guy you told me to do.
No.
He's random guy number 1.
That's right.
I do him?
You can
Go
do it.
ahead. Take it too.
Take it too.
Hey, you the jerk. In the rat costume, I ought to bust you one for walking in front of my car. You could have got me killed.
Rock costume, huh? Come here and say that, pal, and I'll...
Ben, no. We can't afford to get mixed up in a street fight. Not now. There's too much at stake, too.
Hey, Medusa, suddenly I feel kind of funny. Like somebody was using my bod for a track course. Wait a minute. Something's happening to me. I'm changing. Changing.
Turn the face to change.
Narrator?
For several seconds, there was a time delay in the time continuum.
Yes.
The thing's orange scaled form seems to blur, to melt and flow like warm wax, losing its former shape, until where once stood a monster, now stands a very bewildered man with a full head of hair.
Yes.
I don't believe it. I'm Ben Grimm again, and I got big shorts on now. I'm human, Medusa. Don't you see I'm human? It must have had something to do with the watch this time, Gizmo. I'm just like I was before.
A brief second passes as Medusa shares Ben Grimm's joy. Then,
Where to, huh? Please forgive me, Ben, but we still have to deal with the reason for our coming here. And to do that, we must be less attention attractive, even though I'm a dish.
With no ass.
She's got one. She's got a little bit of a balonka dog.
More than two.
Fine with me, Red. Any ideas?
I think I see the answer, Ben. Follow me.
Man, she's got man-like shoulders.
shortly,
Well, Mr. Grimm, do you think the fashions of the lost generation suit me?
They're a fair fit.
My friend, you're positively gallant. Still, I do feel guilty, and I've got some furs, baby. Even though we're only borrowing these clothes, since the owner isn't here at night to make other more suitable arrangements.
Don't let it bother you, Red. We're saving the world, remember? Speaking of which, ain't it time we figured out what the Watcher meant?
How so?
Well, he said we were here to stop this joint from stopping the depression. And it seems to me that stopping the depression is actually a pretty good idea.
We can't know what effect it would have on the future, Ben. Wait. That man up ahead. See if he can lead us to a speakeasy.
Oh, I get it. Women's intuition, huh? Say, fella, know where a guy can get a drink?
Maybe for a $5.
It's yours.
Then, mister, I'm your man. Your buddy Reed was here a few minutes ago. He's drunk now.
Yeah.
soon after, Ben and Medusa have followed their newfound contact down a half-dozen gloomy streets.
Yeah, who was it?
Harry Osborn with a guy.
Harry Osborn? If Harry Osborn vouches for you, you must be an all right Joe. Do you own a restaurant?
I eat there all the time.
But just in case you ain't, let me give you a little warning.
Don't bother, pal. I get the picture.
Do, 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 do.
Ben, it's incredible.
Yeah, something like out of a grade B movie. I keep expecting Edward G. Robinson to pop up with a gun in his hand. So tell me, Medusa, how come you had us come here?
A hunch, Ben. As an inhuman, my psychic senses are stronger than yours, and
You might suck.
As an inhuman, I'm better than you.
Holy cow! Psychic is right, pretty lady. Look! It's gotta be him!
The guy we've been searching for! The joik who stumbled into our time machine! Willie Lumpkin, our mailman!
From various issues of the FF's own mag, Roy.
Come on, buddy. Playtime's over. We're taking you back to 1974 where you belong.
What?
Say, pal, get your paws off my buddy. The runt is one of Big Al's boys, you see. He's giving us the straight dope on the stock market. See? So beat it, you mug. We'll have to get rough, see?
I got news for you, half-brain. Nobody gets rough with Ben Grimm, even if he ain't the blasted thing, see?
Oh! Well, you otherwise guy. I'm gonna pump yourself full of lead. It'll take a crane to get you out of here.
I'm afraid you won't get a chance to try, my friend. You may be quite skilled dealing with a Roaring Twenties masher, but you're helpless when you have to face Medusa's living tresses.
You're not all that bad. You're an inhuman.
Yeah. Nice work, Red. Let's grab Lumpkin and make tracks out of this joint. I got a feeling these guys aren't going to appreciate what we've done. Well, if it ain't Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt who?
Forget it, Buster. It's an in joke.
Ugh!
What do you know? He got the gag after all.
Please, Ben, we have to hurry. We don't want to be here when the Watcher...
Gotcha, kid. Okay, Willie, let's move.
3 seconds later, as the trio steps into a typical muggy Chicago evening.
You know, Medusa, I just figured it out because I'm smart, unlike useless Johnny. If Willie here had stayed with those actors, yeah, and had given him the scoop on the Depression, 3 scoops even,
American history would have changed dramatically. I know, Ben. I know, because I'm smart too.
You don't have to explain to her just because she's a woman.
That's right.
I thought you
Sometimes.
did.
Yeah, Mr. Grimm, is it really you, sir? All of this is so confusing. I hardly recognize you.
Thanks for the compliment, Willie. Now shut up and let me check out these controls. Got it. I'm used to automatic transmission, and I'll be blessed if I can make this clutch work smoothly. But at least I've got a running, Medusa.
And just in time, Ben. I believe we're being followed.
1K short.
Followed nothing. We're under attack. Get your heads down, both of you. We're gonna crash.
Ben, are you all right? The way your head snapped forward. Ben, answer me. By Aegon's genes, answer me.
But Ben Grimm does not answer.
Uh-oh.
He's dead, Jim. Oh, no.
And after a moment, there no longer is any need for him to do so. Watch as his 4 fingers turn to 3, for the answer to Medusa's question is all too painfully clear.
Yeah, I'm okay, Medusa. I'm just swell.
He grows silent. Then, as he tears the car door from its hinges and lowers his massive bulk to the cobbled street, he doesn't wonder why his brief return to normalcy is ended. He's already accepted this latest in a series of bitter twists of fate.
It's because he went back in time before the accident happened.
And he knows what he must do for revenge.
Holy cow, Frankie. Well, what in the name of heaven is that?
It just appeared in that car, like something out of a moving picture. Shoot it, Eddie. Don't let it get near us.
I'm used to the moving pictures, but not the sound.
Shoot it.
Shoot it.
He says nothing. He watches and slowly smiles.
Crack.
Enough
Ah,
case
some
attack.
K's.
A little too many.
And then acts as only one man can, the orange-scaled man mountain, the Thing.
Then I don't know what to say.
Then don't say anything, Medusa. Let's just get back to the present before I get sick.
And as though the Thing's words have been heard, the three displaced travelers seem to flicker and slowly fade away.
You say it best.
Time,
Nothing
enough for death.
Uh-oh.
Time is the image of eternity. A philosopher named Diogenes said that,
Diogenes.
as his friends would call him.
That's mighty professions of you.
We've heard it both ways.
Circa 200 AD, no doubt, he meant to deal with concepts more profound than those which concern us here. But we think Diogenes would have understood our hero's sense of horror as they gaze at the world in which they suddenly find themselves, a world which seems apart from time itself.
They showed something like this on Tiny Toons, remember, in the 90s. I was like,
An
now I know
homage
idea
to
that.
persistence of memory.
Yeah.
A world that seems to exist in some frightening, eternal stasis, some terrifying, timeless eternity.
Reed, something's like totally wrong. This isn't the world we left. It's some sort of El Salvador Dali nightmare. Look at your head, Ben.
Yeah. Hey, Reed, am I seeing things, or is that a stopwatch melting over that tree?
So it seems, Ben. Apparently we're in a kind of chronal continuum. A world existing outside the timeline we know, but obviously paralleling our own. It's something Maximus once hypnotized hypothesized before he went mad.
What's good to you correcting yourself?
I'm good like that.
If he imagined a world like this, Medusa, I can understand why Breen likes reading his rules. And also why he went insane. Somehow we've been drawn to this world rather than to our own. All of us are appearing here simultaneously.
I have bad news for all of you. You've all been drawn in this world.
Ah,
Yes, yes.
aha.
For reasons beyond our comprehension. I mean, for inhumans, maybe we don't understand, but this couldn't be the Watcher's doing. It isn't his way to act without an explanation. There has to be someone or something else at work here. Some other force, some other mind.
Some other place, somewhere, some other time.
Oh, yeah? Well, that's just Jim Dandy. I've had it up to here with Judge pushing me around. If I lay my mitts on the creep who did this, I'll...
Don't tell us, Thing. Tell the guy behind you. Look.
Huh? Who the darn heck is that?
Who is the Hulk?
I am Tempest. I am the master of the world in which you now exist. I am Tempest. I just said that. I am hunger for death. Since I dropped something. Since the beginning of eternity, I remained here, enduring without life, enduring without growth, enduring as a rock like you, Ben Grimm, passing
Yeah.
through the decades, through the centuries, through the millennia, exiting without change and thus without meaning.
You know what time it is?
It's clobbering time.
No, it's time to monologue.
Yeah. It's still going.
Is that me again?
That's still you.
At last I have had enough. Time itself has come to bore me, and thus time itself must end.
Now that's dark.
That's a splash page. You are monologuing.
To ensure the end of time, I lured the human you call William Lumpkin into your childish time portal. Had my plan succeeded, the paradoxes caused by the actions would have climaxed in total catastrophe, both on your time level and on mine. Willie Lumpkin's actions would have uprooted the tree of time, causing untold chaos, mixing age and eon and eon. Now I must use other means to achieve that end. Essentially, I must destroy you all.
Over my dead body, you overgrown icicle. This is the king you're talking to, not some blasted wristwatch.
Ben, don't! We have no concept of his power, his abilities.
Ah, bunk. There ain't nothing you can toss me I ain't already, wind coming at me like a crummy hurricane. Can't stand up to it. Rock me like a hurricane. Blowing back, tearing into me. What's happening?
It's like banquet chicken when the crumbs fall off.
Oh, no, I'm breaking apart.
Did you see that, Reed? Did you see what Tempest did to him? Ben's barely breathing. He's gotten so old. So old.
Oh, I'm a fossil now.
He's going to be appearing on Wednesday nights now.
Yeah.
Get back, Johnny. You're too close to the prey. Hey.
But
Ray.
Reed's frantic warning comes too late as Johnny Storm lifts a suddenly graying head and cries out from a mouth abruptly withered and dry.
You've got to stop him, Reed. You've got to stop it. I just said that, and at my age, I can't afford to repeat myself. Before he kills us, you've got to try.
I did not wish it to happen this way, human. There's no grace in such an ending and no tragedy, only pathos.
Myself.
You mad tempest and well, that's not me.
That's right.
I lost one of my icicles.
You see what Austin said? He said is this villain. I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow. You're mad, Tempest. Ain't saying if I don't stop you, one of the others will.
Not me.
Because you're useless.
And old.
Which of them, human? Which will have the strength when the very essence of his life is drawn from his body as a leech draws its victim's blood? Would it not be better for you to accept your fate? Is life so precious? So is existence so dear that one must cling to it so desperately?
Oh no! I got the fossil virus. Yes, no matter what happens, I must get a case of beer before I die. We must go on. Go on, woman. Make me a sandwich.
We will, Reed. On my oath as an inhuman, I'm not useless. We will.
You may not be useless,
But you suck!
Yet at that precise instant, as Reed collapses against Medusa's restraining locks,
Huh? I don't get it. One moment I can hardly lift my little pinky, like Ash with his beer. And the next time I'm my beautiful blue-eyed self again.
You're not the only one, partner. We're both back to normal. But look at Reed and Medusa. They're as old as we were and growing older by the second. They can't last much longer. It's what my sister told me about Reed anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're two-minded. I didn't ask. We have to do something before they die from sheer old age. And there's only like 4 pages left in the story.
cool.
The only trouble is I'm useless. I can't figure out why.
Oh, Otto.
Then you ain't got the brains I thought you had, George. I didn't think you had them anyway. Don't you see?
Dick,
Hey, I ain't no bad. Don't you
He
see?
doesn't have one.
I do, too. It's nice and rock hard.
no, it is not.
It's true. You don't know nothing. Don't you see? Chemists can only keep 2 of us aging at a time. All we gotta do is distract them. Make them take those eye beams off Stretcho and Red.
Did you say you can only keep 2 of us Asian at a time?
Aging.
Yeah.
And then it'll be our turn.
I'm reading you, old buddy. I'll hit him high and... Wait a minute. Where are you going to hit him?
I'm hitting them low. You better believe.
Thanks.
Yeah, you better believe I'll hit them low, Torchy. I figured this Joker's behind my becoming Ben Grimm and then switching me back to the thing. And that makes me mad, which means, yes, baby, it's clobbering time.
Oh, pow!
I see it, but I don't believe it. One of my best punches and the guy just vibrates a bit, like that thing in Sue's drawer. And still stands there like the blasted king of the hill.
I'll tell you what.
Well, don't you just stand there, thing. Hit him again before he throws me or something.
Wait! You mustn't strike him, Ben, under any circumstances. He'll use your energy against you, feeding it back like an electrical circuit. We'll have to come up with a better way.
Yow! Come up with it soon, brother-in-law. I think we've gotten prickly-faced mad.
Anger is for mortals, you fool. Tempest feels no anger, only boredom. And it is this boredom for which he desires to end. It is so hard for you to understand such a wish. Are you all so hopelessly blind?
Like a leash.
I am.
Handsome, we thought you'd never ask.
What do your petty lives matter when compared to an eternity without meaning? I have suffered long enough. I have watched the flow of time, and I am what you are doing. And I am what you are doing.
While you were busy ranting, Tempest, my friends, not my aunt friends, my friends.
Yeah.
That's why Zach's an end friend. He's not here. I worked out a plan. Not a very sophisticated plan, I admit, but a workable one nonetheless.
Release me, you abysmally stupid clown. Release me at once.
As I say, not a sophisticated plan, but the way we saw it since you wanted to destroy yourself so badly. you wouldn't really mind how you went, would you? This method is based on an old Earth adage.
Adage.
I don't care. Each of us has learned as a child. I didn't learn it, though. Do you remember it, Johnny?
That's obvious, Captain. I sure do, Reed. In Tempest, I thought you were bored because you didn't have any dialogue in the first 30 pages of this.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the one I think you mean.
Doesn't it go something like what was
No,
it?
that's Johnny.
Johnny.
Oh,
We went over this in pre-production, man.
I don't know.
Doesn't it go something like the bigger they are, the harder they
Fall.
that too.
Something like that, Johnny. Something like that.
No, no.
And when the rubble has settled and the dust has ceased to fly,
We murdered him. Woohoo! Oh, it's gone. Finished. It's almost as though he truly never existed. Or never truly existed. Still, he did exist. And we have to remember that. We have to remember that a part of Tempest still exists in each of us.
oh,
We're all his children.
yes.
And that is kind of despair. Never really dies. Only sleeps until something happens to awaken it once more.
It's only sleeping. I hate to interrupt your pretty speech, Stretcher, but I'll do it anyway. But something tells me our troubles ain't over. By a long shot.
He's not in this book.
Yeah.
No sooner has Ben Grimm finished speaking than the world seems to shudder and heave around him, and land splitting and sinking, tilting at irrational angles, canting wildly,
Yeah,
madly.
That's correct.
For long seconds, this world quake continues, growing more and more dangerous, until the Fantastic Four find themselves fighting not just for their balance, but for their lives.
What is it, High Pockets? What's going on?
I like the fact that he calls them high pockets for the nerds, the chest pocket. It's funny. I can only guess, Ben. I'm not no Riri Williams. But it seems safe to assume this world really was tied to Tempest, and that when he succumbed to death, it died with him.
Speak English, you blasted bookworm. What does that mean?
It means I can't use that word on this channel, but you know what it means. We are royally screwed. They're in the midst of this world's death throes, and if we don't escape soon, we'll never escape alive.
And you know Rodney McDowell neither.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And in this corner.
In that case, Stretch, it's been nice knowing you. You're too, Medusa. And Johnny, I always, huh? Now what? Can a guy even say goodbye in peace around here?
Old friend, I have a feeling your farewells might have been premature. No wonder Alicia marries Johnny in 300. This pathway through time doesn't it seem familiar somehow?
It's the reverse of the way we came. And how do we get our uniforms back? We're going back to the present, but what will we find? A prehistoric jungle or the Baxter building? Then we succeeded. Tempest failed, like I usually do, because I'm useless. The world isn't destroyed, and everything's back as it was before Willie Lumpkin fell into Doc Doom's time machine.
Then all of this was my fault? It wasn't just a dream?
If it was, then we all had the same nightmare, Willie boy.
And if you don't believe me, ask the Watcher over there. The little creep.
Oh, sorry. I may have fallen asleep. I assure you, Mr. Lumpkin, this was no dream. It was all terribly real and almost catastrophic, to use the term Tempest employed.
So you knew about that Tempest joke all along, huh?
Of course. Am I not the Watcher?
If you knew, why didn't you warn us, you son of a bitch?
For the same reason that I knew. Because I am a Watcher, and a Watcher may ultimately only observe. I broke my oath once in informing you of the disaster and helping you correct certain mistakes. To do more would have been a truly grave offense against my oath. And so I remained silent.
Yeah, right.
You know, I used to be a night watcher myself.
Just as you must remain silent, William Lumpkin. The world is as it was before you changed it, and it must never know the truth of what almost happened this day.
I'll never tell, Mr. Watcher, sir.
And tomorrow, what will you say then? No, William, it is better that the memory is wiped from your mind. Only then will you be safe from temptation, and the world safe from you. Done. Thus, my business here is ended, and I take my leave to improve my Sean Connery impression.
Yes.
For there are other worlds to watch,
We've heard, Trusty, you do improve.
Yes.
and a watcher must observe them all. Bye. Your mother, Trebek!
Yes. Hey, say, Willie, don't you have some letters you gotta deliver somewhere?
Letters? Oh, yeah, the letters. I must understand, Mr. Grimm. It's odd, but I seem to have forgotten why I came up here this afternoon. I made my regular delivery this morning, you see. But here it's almost 5 o'clock, and for some reason I can't recall I'm back here. A special delivery package? A special delivery package? No, I don't think so. A registered letter, perhaps? No, not for that either, but don't worry. It'll come to me sooner or later. I'll come back. Just you wait and see.
How much you want to bet Reed's already at a bar, Ben?
No bet, Torchy. That's a sure thing. Say, I just remembered. What about that suborbital shuttlecraft we left in the middle of that Florida swampland? Who do you suppose is going to have to pay the bill and truck that crate back to Cape Canaveral? Tempest? Willie Lumpkin? Or me?
Next, The Four Horsemen, starring Ric Flair, Barry Windham, of the Apocalypse.
No, Patrick Stewart is like that, Dave.
Oh, boy.
Except less rolling. But anyway,
Yes.
thank you
You're
so
right.
What?
You're correct, Palpatine.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And let's give a round of applause for Captain Strangelove, his first reading on the
Yes.
Yes, it was very good.
Yes.
You are Willie Lumpkin. Except you didn't destroy the world. But thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, it was nice. I liked it. I enjoyed it, but it was a little nervous for me. I never did this kind of thing before.
Yep, it can be.
You want to stay for the
Yeah,
next
for the first time.
You want to stay for the next one, or are you tired?
Well, I should probably go upstairs and get something to eat. My wife came home about an hour ago, so I don't know.
Absolutely. Well, you're always welcome back, Captain. Oh, Captain. And, well, thank you for being with us tonight.
Here.
And if you're real lucky, they'll put you in the credits, and you'll never see it again because he never uses them.
I might be here next time. I don't know.
Yeah, we're here Fridays and Sunday nights at 8:15 p.m. Eastern for the first reading. So
And around 9:30 the second,
9:30, the second one.
roughly.
That'd be 8.
Yeah,
Well,
we started 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, 9:45 is the next reading.
We're good.
I always say Eastern because these guys are all on the East Coast.
They're night owls.
Yeah, I'm Central.
So you're just like me. See, I have to remember Pacific, Eastern, and my own time. So then Jimmy, because he has Mountain.
Well, thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it. I'll try
Anytime.
to get on next time. Graphic Man can let me know. I'll be on his show on Wednesday. So,
Rod, if you're still in the chat, we got openings for the one we started 2 minutes ago.
That's right.
all right, guys.
Quick, Eric absolutely turns into no thanks.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. I'll see you the next time then.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Long.
Yeah.
And thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time in about 10 minutes. Bye!
It's clobbered